Ray, the Managing Director of Management Consulted, and I'm here today to lay out the key steps to developing the ultimate fit prep plan. Hopefully what you've gotten from our previous videos is that fit interviews are important. It's essential to prepare. There's a lot to do, and there are some key ways that you can do it. So what I want to do today is just highlight how you get from there to a place where you're actually prepared for the interview. The first is that I just want to lay out a few reminders about some key things that you're trying to convey in the fit interview and specifics on how you convey them. The first is that it's really important to make sure that your fit interview responses, with the exception of one key question, walk me through your resume, which can be longer, every other one will be 30 seconds to 1 minute. So it's important that you remember when you're responding that you have 30 seconds to a minute to get your point across. When you're preparing, you need to prepare for this, and you need to develop a sense of timing so that when you're in the interview, you can answer appropriately. The second thing that's really important is that you need to use summaries and you need to use structure. In fit interviews, summaries are even better than upfront structure. Upfront structure says, here's what I'm going to talk about. But in fit interviews, you don't want to sound too pre-prepared. You want to sound natural, like you're having a conversation. So there are some questions that might lend itself to a little bit of structure, but for the most part, you're going to use summaries. After you've told a story or after you've laid out a list of examples, you're going to give the consultants a quick recap of what you just talked about. And that's going to convey both, here I'm making it easy for you, here are the key things that I talked about, and also I'm thinking like a consultant with structure, summaries, or both. Then finally, the final and most important thing is just to make sure that you're yourself. The fit interview is to assess your comfort and your fit with the firm. If you're nervous, they're going to tell. If you're not able to be yourself, they're going to tell. If you're trying to be someone else, they're going to be able to tell. It's going to sound like you're a robot, and they're not looking for robots. They're looking for people that they would enjoy having a slice of pizza with when they're stuck in a snowstorm for 6 hours in an airport. So make sure that as you're going through the process for your fit interview, you're preparing stories that convey not only how you did something proficiently, but also how you kept people in mind, and you're able to tell those stories in the most natural way. So here's how you go from where you are through the ultimate fit prep plan to make sure that you're ready for the fit interview. The first thing is that you want to make sure you're preparing your stories. So when you're preparing your stories, there are a couple of things to think about. You want to make sure that you're ready with them during the networking process, because if you wait for just the fit interview itself, a lot of times you've missed out on some opportunities to give good and vivid illustrations. And you also want to make sure when you're preparing the stories that you write them out like essays. I can't tell you how many times I've worked with people who go through bullet points when they're thinking about their stories. Do you know how long you can talk on one bullet point? It could be longer than 30 seconds or a minute alone. So it doesn't help you pull the whole story together when you just convey the bullet points. You need to actually write out your stories and your responses like essay questions. The goal here is not to memorize them, but the goal is to make sure that you're pulling together all of the key pieces that you want to convey. The next thing that's really important is that you want to practice out loud. You can do this by yourself, but in general, in my experience, it takes 10 times in responding to one question to begin to make it sound natural. And if you spend that time with somebody else, they're going to get impatient before you get to 10 times. So record yourself. Review how long it took you to say something, and if you're brave, watch yourself. Take video of how you did so that you can tell if you're being awkward or if you're being uncertain in any way when you're going through the interview. Then once you're ready with the recording process and you think you're ready to test out your answers on live people, then you can go and find practice partners. Now it's really important that you find good practice partners. And some qualities of a great partner is somebody who actually doesn't know you very well. Family members aren't great practice partners. First of all, they generally are pretty nice to you, which isn't helpful in the fit interview preparation process, but they also know a lot of the context behind your stories. So if you get somebody who doesn't know you very well, if they don't understand something, they're going to be able to ask you about it. You can make sure that you're telling the key context as you go. You also want somebody who's very both constructive, so they're able to tell you what you can do better, and supportive, so they can tell you what you're already doing well. And finally, it's great to have people who go through the process currently, or somebody like our team at Management Consultant who are available to talk to you as you're preparing for the fit interviews to give you expert advice. Finally, when you start for the fit interview preparation is something that's greatly contentious. So the reason that it's greatly contentious is that most people begin to prepare for the fit interview perhaps the night before the actual interview. Like I said, I think that the preparation process should start when you're networking, which is often many months before, but at the very least, you need to make sure that you are no less than 2 weeks prior to your fit interview when you begin to prepare, because it takes quite a lot of time to go through, write out your stories, practice them 10 times, record yourself, and then get in front of somebody else. So if you allow anything less than 2 weeks, you're really probably going to be underprepared for the fit interview. In my overall experience, the people who were good at cases got into the second round, and everybody in the second round was good at cases. The ones that went from the second round to the offer were the ones who got A+ on their fit interviews because they were awesome and comfortable and great storytellers. So hopefully you'll use this ultimate fit interview prep plan in order to do just that for yourself. If you want more information, we've got a lot of content in one of our materials, the Consulting Interview Bible, as well as on our website at managementconsulted.com.